You're watching The Edward Fowler Show. Now, here's your host, Edward Fowler.
And good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you're watching this or listening to this, and thank you for tuning in. It's your favourite 25 minutes or so of your favourite artists here on the number one indie show out there. And tonight we've got a great singer/songwriter joining us. And the one thing about 2024, by the way, because usually on this show I have a lot of international stars on this, and something I've enjoyed over the past week or so is having a lot more people based in the UK as well. So I'm loving that aspect of things. And tonight, as I mentioned, we're being joined by, not too far from where I am, by Tom Killner. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. Thanks for having us on the show.
No, thank you for accepting to be on the show tonight, because I know it's a bit short notice. I think I reached out to your people about a week ago, and I wanted to have you on the show because I saw your footage on social media, and you were somebody I wanted to have on. I enjoyed what I saw and heard, so I wanted to give you the platform this evening to talk about your career so far. So what who inspired yourself to start writing and producing music?
I don't think anybody really inspired me to do it, really. It was just a case of that I just did it myself. I mean, I've always had favourite artists that I've looked up to and things like that, but generally writing just sort of came real naturally to me when I first picked guitar up, really. I was like the very early days I were writing songs, although they were not very good, but I was interested in that side of things when I first started.
Because I know you're into a lot of different genres as well of music, and I see that you try and combine all of them together, or try to influence as much of different genres as possible. Is that something you were meant to do when you first branched out?
I mean, influence. I've been influenced by, like you say, quite a lot of things. I mean, when I first started, originally I wanted to be in a band like Green Day.
Oh, okay, yeah, they're quite good.
Stuff like that. Yeah, I grew up on one of the first albums that I got was the American Idiot album.
Oh, yes.
And that's
Classic.
when I first started. Yeah, I mean, all my friends were into that sort of thing. And then I was listening to my dad's record collection, so like guys like Rory Gallagher was a massive influence for me, the Irish guitarist, the classic rock sort of thing. And then I got into the blues. And sort of that's developed into all sorts of influences, like the country side of thing, the Americana, kind of the feel, which I feel really at home with, and it really suits sort of me as my writing style. Is that where I feel quite comfortable in there? But I like mixing the genres up. I mean, I've been influenced like soul, funk and jazz, and I mean Indian classical music at one point was massively on my listening list. So I'd say there's quite a broad range of influence that's seeped in to my writing style.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And how do you try to bring all those different creatives from all those different genres into into one album or into a great into your fans, basically? So I guess you got to please as many fans as possible as well.
Yeah,
in the long run.
I mean, it's. I mean, for me, it's the song turns out how it turns out, regardless of what I think the audience are going to think about it. At the end of the day, it's my creative side that's out on the line there. But it's for the audience to decide if they dig it or not.
Yeah.
But if they can get something from it, then I'm happy, because I've reached somebody with music. But I wouldn't say that I go in specifically with a style in mind or anything like that. It's just whatever comes out, and if I happen to like it, then it stays. And if not, it goes on the pile for another day to work on or something like that.
That's fair enough. many artists have a favorite place to go, or whenever they get ideas going through their head, wherever they might be, they write down like a notebook or something. When you get ideas, are you a particular location, or are you just, or they just float to you wherever you are, and you just jot them down and then come back to them to create some interesting vocals for it?
It happens in the most random places, so there's no particular place that this happens. I mean, it could be in the back of the van on the way to a gig, it could be just travelling somewhere, or I mean, a lot of the time that I've had ideas where you're in the shower or something like that, and it's really inconvenient, so you have to try and grab your phone and press record and try and get us this sort of really rough idea down before you forget it. Generally what I find is that if you can remember it after you've say you've been in the shower, then generally that if you can remember it, it tends to be a better idea.
Interesting. I like it. I like that. So you mentioned about your lyrics coming to you wherever you may be, even in the shower. How long before you get those ideas started down to actually get it recorded and into something more than just ideas, if that makes sense?
It could be a matter of hours if I'm really feeling that song, and I've really got a strong idea of where it's going to go. Sometimes it's weeks, sometimes it's months, and it could even be years. Like I say, some of them get put on the back burner for quite a long time, but they're always in that pot of ideas that might seem like a good idea at first, but then you get a little bit further into it and then you go, and actually this is not quite right at the moment. So it just goes into the development stage further along the line. So it, like I say, it could be days, it could be months, and it could be years in some cases.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. For you as well. I want to know, firstly as well, when you're creating albums, because we're going to do a new album in just a moment, but when you're creating albums for your listeners and for your fans, how do you always come up with the most catchy ones, which you think, oh, that's a good one to call this?
I don't think there's any rule or rhyme to it, really. It's a case of, that sounds cool. I mean this upcoming album that we're just jamming, and we were jamming the track, and it just sort of came out of nowhere. I might have had an idea for a riff or something like that, and we started jamming it, and you sort of do ad-lib lyrics while you're getting your melodies and your lyrics together. And the title for the next album is Borrowed Time, and we just went, that would be really cool to put on the title for the album, because we're all here for a finite time, and you just got to make the best of it. So I think that is be a cool album title, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's just talk about it, because as you mentioned a minute ago, you mentioned about it, and there it is, Tom Killner, Borrowed Time. Great name for your new album, which is coming out on April the 12th, which you can, of course, buy on CD and vinyl and all digital platforms when it comes out on April the 12th. And when you announced that this is going to come out on April the 12th, what was the reaction like from your fan base?
I think a sigh of relief that finally we've got a new album coming out. It's been a long time since the last one. I mean, it's 2018 since the last full studio album.
Right.
And of course we've had global situations between then and here, and I mean, I've had band changes and things like that. So I mean, the songs on this album that some people have heard them live.
Yeah.
Because there's a couple of tracks that goes back well into 2015 when I did the first album. That's been in the set list for quite a while. it goes down a stone. But we just never got to record it on the other albums. But I'm glad we've got to sort of finish that off now that we've put it on this record. So I think the fans are happy that we've finally got a new album out, and it's not a direction I suppose that they would expect it to be. There's a lot of genre mix-ups in there and things that they might not expect from me previously.
Interesting. Can you go into more details about that?
Yeah, I mean, singer-songwriter wise, there's still some really cool rock and roll tracks on there.
Yeah.
Which, your blues rock fans like. But there's the more thought out side of it, for like personal songs and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I've dug a lot deeper this time into the meanings of songs, and just generally how I've constructed songs. It's just a different feel.
Yeah.
But it's still me, but it's just a slightly different feel to what people might be used to from previous records.
Gotcha. Or even a bit of a different edge to you compared to other albums as well, to try and bring, I guess, new listeners, because you might find a lot of new fans out there who may just discover you at the Blue one day and thought, wow, this is amazing, and they might go back to your other albums and think, wow, and compare it to them maybe as well from the the newer ones when this comes out on all platforms on April the 12th. And can you give us a tease of one of the songs you love from the new album?
I've got to say, I think my favourite track, there's two tracks on there.
Yeah, feel free to name them.
Didn't expect to be my favourite songs.
Oh, right.
They've turned into my favourite songs, and that's a track called No More, and the other one is called Only You.
Right.
And they've turned into my favourite tracks, and one of them doesn't have a guitar solo on. So there we go. Those are my two favourite tracks from the next record.
Yes. Well, I hope that many other people will also like those two tracks as well from your new album. But speaking about your guitar as well, because it's not often we get many vocalists playing as well, singing on a singing with a guitar. So was it quite hard at first when you first began doing both, or was it quite an easy transition? In your opinion?
It's that long ago now, I can't remember really how it happened. It just happened to be one gig I needed to sing, so I ended up singing. Then on, I got really comfortable with singing, which I think it was about the age of 13 or something like that I started singing. It might have been awful, I don't know, there's not many recordings of it, but no, I really feel comfortable singing. I mean, for the most part, I think I'm more of a singer than a guitar player these days, just from the fact that I'm just writing the songs and sort of the guitar's backing the vocals rather than the guitar trying to show off now.
I wonder as well, throughout your career as a great singer-songwriter, band member as well, have you gone through a lot of guitars in your time so far?
I think more than I'd care to admit. I mean, I think the collection at the minute, and they all do get used. Or I tell my girlfriend that. And I think we're about up to 30 guitars at the moment.
Wow.
But each one brings something different. I mean, from a non-guitar playing perspective, that people go, "Oh, you're a nutter. You've got too many. What do you need all that for?" Each one does bring a different feel to tracks. It makes you play differently. It makes you write differently, because there's different guitars that I wrote on different songs that I wrote on different guitars.
Yeah.
And they all bring something different to the party, really.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with you, because as you say, if you throw them all away, and you might need to use one of them for another song, and then you're like, oh, I should have done that. So it's good to keep a collection of them.
I have done that. I have got a few regrets of
Yeah.
getting rid of instruments, but at the minute I'm happy.
Yes. So have you got a room? Have you with all your 30 guitars in, or a few or something?
They're all spread out the house in various cases and places. I've got a home studio and some stay down there and with the amplifiers and things like that. But generally, they're knocking about everywhere.
By the way, what my guest means, by the way, is when he said home studio, he means more like a man cave for his music, musician stuff. But what a great story that is, by the way. And I want to know, what are some of your goals you want to achieve by the end of this year?
By the end of this year, well, obviously one of them is to actually get the album released. Which
you're almost there now, 90% there.
In fact, we got the test pressings yesterday.
Oh, that's good.
For the vinyl, so they'll be here quite soon, which I'm really excited about, because that's the first time I've got a record on vinyl format.
Nice.
Which I've always been looking forward to that. So that's really cool. The next one is just continue touring and building the fan base and meeting more people. I mean, last year we had a tour of Spain. I'd like to get back into Spain. I think that's planned for next year.
That's good.
Now, so heading into Europe is a massive one for me, because we've had some great times over there.
Yeah.
Heading back into there. So I think by the end of this year, I would say more successful runs of tour dates over here, just building the audience and just carrying on.
No, absolutely, because you got a lot of things going for you, and as you say, hopefully you will get back to Spain and maybe even do a bit more than just Spain, like Europe as well. Go around all of Europe.
Yeah. I mean, Northern Europe is a massive market for the genres that we're doing. The European audiences are fantastic from the last times that we've played there. Just obviously the last few years it's been a little bit difficult to get across there, but now things are sort of settling down a little bit. Seem to have returned to pretty much normal. We're looking at getting into those Northern European countries.
Yeah, no, absolutely, for sure. I know you got some great tours out this year, though, haven't you? You're going out to many different places from March onwards.
Yeah. So we've got the album launch show in basically his hometown Sheffield. That's March 22nd. That we do the celebration of the record there, and we've got guests appearing from who played on the record, and Wayne Proctor, who produced and mixed and mastered the record, he's coming down, and we're just going to have a good old time there. And that officially sort of launches as record, and then we're out on tour in early April, and then April 12th we release the record halfway through that tour, which is really cool.
Yeah. From April the 6th to April the 12th, you got some great gigs. You're going to like York, for instance, for the York Blues Festival 2024. Then you're next, and then a few days after, you're going to the Tuesday Night Music Club down in Colston. Never even heard of that place before. Shout out to them. 10th of April, you're going to Shrings Bar and Venue in Newport. Obviously, know that is. 11th of April, the Bourne Music Club in Sittingbourne, and then you're back to Leeds, near York.
So the official date that everything officially releases, we're in Leeds.
Yeah.
So sort of home stomping grounds. But yeah, we're looking forward to that. I mean, for the first time, we're playing the Isle of Wight, like you said, down in Newport, which is really cool. But we're all over the place. I mean, then it continues into May. With Hush Money, with an American band coming over from Georgia, and we've got a few tour dates with them, and Call of the Wild Festival tops that run off. But we just got periodic sort of dates all through the year, little groups of dates. So you just got to keep your eye where we are.
Exactly, you do, and you can find, of course, all your details. You can find my guests on. That's the wrong button. Social media. Not the wrong button I pressed there. Right about that. That happens sometimes. You can find my guests. This is why I do it live. One take, one shot. You can find my guests on social media. Of course, Tom Killner on Facebook and also on Instagram as well. And you can also find him on the internet on the website by going to tomkillner.com for more information for latest tours, latest news, and other ways to contact Tom and anything else which relates to Tom on there. That is everything that's right, because I don't think you do X, do you, at the moment? Or I could be wrong, you might do.
We came off, is it Twitter? X now they call it. That's never... it never sort of got used to the extent that the other socials got used, so we decided just to bin that off.
Fair enough. Before we let you go, I know you're running out of time with us this evening. I just want to know, you mentioned about your goals for this year. What have been some of your, I guess, funny stories from the road so far in your career? If you can share just one with us, just to end out this great interview with yourself.
Oh, now that's putting me on the spot, because there's been that many. I think it's like sort of the small moments that in the van or something like that. I think actually, I don't know if it's sort of a funny story, but last year when we were playing in Spain, it was the first time we played in a hurricane.
Oh wow!
So we got to the venue, and we didn't know this weather front was coming in, and all of a sudden this massive storm came in. I mean, trees were blowing over, and and all sorts. But I just remember trying to get into the venue, and it was absolutely chucking it down.
Oh wow!
We were like drowned rats between. Because this door would not unlock. But yeah, so that was one of the gigs from that run. That was incredibly fun.
Yeah, it sounds like it. It sounds like a lot of panic going on trying to get that door unlocked as well.
Yeah. I mean, I think my iPad got trashed.
Oh no!
We just got drowned out. It was mad. But yeah, fun times. It's just bits and things like that just you're going to remember. Yeah.
And quickly, you mentioned about you got a band coming from Georgia to play on some of your tours with you on some of the dates. Any chance for you to return the favour, to go to maybe stateside and return the favour to them?
I mean, that would be really, really cool if we headed over to Atlanta, Georgia, because a lot of the bands that I'm influenced by came from that region. So
that's good.
That'd be so cool if that would happen. But who knows?
Yeah, exactly. Who knows? Never say never. Well, it's been a pleasure and a privilege to have you on my show for a very short time. I hope your new album goes well, and you can see it here on your screen once again. Borrowed Time comes out on April the 12th, and as I said in the show, you have to buy it or you can be squared. You get that? And thank you again, Tom. And I wish you the best of luck for your tour as well, coming out across the UK. I hope they will go well and successful. Hopefully no hurricanes either in that sense, or any other dreadful circumstances will happen to you either. I hope that all goes well. And we wish you nothing but success for 2024.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. And if you enjoyed tonight's episode with my guest Tom, then make sure to smash that like button. Somebody already has, so thank you very much. Share the video around. Tell more about Tom and his great band and all about his music as well. And make sure you be checking out his music right now and get prepared for April the 12th, because you won't want to miss it. Be a part of history. If you're new around here and like my content and want to see more interviews from whoever they are, because even I don't know who they're going to be, then smash that subscribe button. And as well, make sure to, check me out on my social medias, which are across the bottom of your screens there. You can check me out on Facebook, X, and Instagram. Mostly Facebook and X are mostly where I post. I do post sometimes on Instagram, but more on X. There more than anywhere else, really. But until the next episode drops, then enjoy the rest of your day, morning, night, or afternoon. And this will come out on the audio site as well, so check it out on there, and check out all the other audio episodes on my audio version of the show by typing the word The Edward Fowler Show right there on your screen, as you will see more flashbacks and new episodes every week. But yes, until then, goodbye and good night.